Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am doing my look with the Too Faced The Power of Makeup palette with Nikkie Tutorials. This palette is absolutely beautiful, as you all can tell. Actually, with the palette, you get this little book, and it has like some makeup looks that she has for inspiration. And I'm actually doing the first look out of the out of this little booklet today. So that is what inspired this look. I highly recommend this palette. It is awesome. So yeah, if you guys want to see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light. And I'm going to be putting this all over my eyelids to cancel out any of the veins or discoloration that you see. And I'm just going to be using a damp beauty sponge to blend that out, and also my finger, just to make sure that everything is nice and blended. Now I'm going to be using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I'm going to be placing that on top of the concealer that I just put for that extra coverage, and just to make 110% sure that my eyeshadows don't move anywhere throughout the day, and that way they don't crease up. I'm going to be taking a Morphe M330 and dipping into the Too Faced The Power of Makeup palette with Nikkie Tutorials. And I'm going to be taking that really light shade, and it's called Ivy. And I'm just going to be taking that onto my brush and applying that all over the lid to set the primer and the concealer. So that way my eyeshadows have a nice base to go onto very smoothly. Now I'm going to be going in with the same Morphe M330 brush and the eyeshadow Painkiller, also in the Too Faced palette. And I'm going to be applying that all on my crease to give it some definition and to add a really nice warm transition color, so that way all the shadows blend super nicely and there's no harsh lines or anything like that. And I'm just applying that into windshield wiper motions. Now I'm going to be taking a Wet n Wild large eyeshadow brush and dipping back into the Too Faced palette. And this time I'm going to be going for the darker shade, which is called the Makeup and Chill. It's a super pretty hot cocoa brown, and I'm just going to be going a little bit below the crease to give it some more dimension and to start darkening up the look. And we want to do this very gradually, so that way we don't have any harsh lines or anything like that. So I'm just going to be blending this Makeup and Chill color all over my lid, and I'm also going to be going on the outer V of my eye and also on the inner corner, but I am avoiding the center of the lid because that is going to be where I am putting the gold shade. So you just want to avoid putting the eyeshadow in the middle and just blend away. Okay, so now that I have blended that darker brown shade all on my outer V and inner corner, I'm going to be taking that really pretty gold shade called Irresistible, and I'm just going to be using that on my finger and applying it to the center of the lid and taking it out a little bit further. But you don't want to apply this all over the lid, just take it a little bit further than the center. And just pat that in. I applied the NYX glitter primer before, so that way the shadow would hold all day. And now I'm just going to be taking that same Wet n Wild large eyeshadow brush and going back in with the Makeup and Chill color. And I am going to go around that gold eyeshadow that I just put, so that way there's no harsh lines, and I'm just going to make it look really not natural, but more of a gradient effect, and make everything just look super nice and blended and soft. Okay, so now I'm going to be going in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer, And this has a silicone feel, so I'm just going to be applying that to the nose and my chin, also in the center of my forehead, basically anywhere where I have larger pores and tend to get a little bit more oily. This primer is just going to keep you matte and minimize your pores. I really love this primer. It is a sample size that I got in a little Ulta gift bag, but I really like this primer and it really does keep you matte all day. Now I'm going to be taking the Cover FX Natural Finish Oil Free Foundation and the L'Oreal Pro Glow in the shade 203 Nude Beige. And I'm going to be taking mainly the Cover FX foundation, but I'm also going to be applying a little dot of the L'Oreal just to put some color back into it. And I'm not sure what shade I am in the Cover FX because I rubbed it off the bottle. But now I'm just going to be applying this in little dots all over my face. And I am taking a damp Real Technique sponge and just patting this all over my face. I love applying my foundations with damp sponges. I just feel like it gives the most natural effect and it makes it look so good and just so natural. Okay, so now I'm going to be going back in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light. And I'm going to be applying this to my under eyes in sort of a triangle shape. And also to my chin, a little bit on the bridge of my nose, and also on my forehead. And this is just going to brighten up the face and just bring everything closer together. I really love the way that it makes my face look, especially my under eyes, because I find that when I do apply this concealer under my eyes, it really just lifts my face and makes me look more awake. This concealer is extremely full coverage, so you do not need a lot. So yeah, this is my favorite concealer so far. Out of all the concealers I've tried, this one is full coverage and it is really, really pigmented. And it looks really, really nice under your eyes. It doesn't look cakey or anything, especially whenever you apply powder over it. So yeah, I'm just taking a damp Real Technique sponge and blending this to perfection on my face. Now I'm going to be taking the RCMA No Color Translucent Powder and a damp beauty sponge and just dipping my sponge into this powder and applying it under my eyes, doing the baking technique. This powder is amazing and it looks extremely nice when you apply it with a damp beauty sponge. That is my #1 recommendation for setting your under eyes, is to apply this with a damp sponge. This powder is actually really cheap. The only thing I don't like about it is the packaging, but other than that, the price and the product are both really nice, so I would highly recommend this powder. It is amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in the shade Medium Brown and popping on my brows real quick. Sorry I didn't film it. My brows are just such a hot mess right now, and it has been taking me such a long time to fill them in, but I will do a video on how I do my brows. Now I'm just taking this Coastal Scents face brush and wiping away the powder and going back in with a Real Technique sponge and just dipping it back into the RCMA powder and applying this all over my face, just really pushing it into the skin. I find that this helps my foundation stay on all day long rather than just me dusting it on my face. Pressing it in with a damp sponge will really make it budge proof and it will not be going anywhere throughout the day. It also makes it easier for when you apply your bronzers and your highlighters and stuff. So yeah, highly recommend pressing in the powder with a damp sponge. Now I'm going to be taking this Coastal Scents face brush and I'm going to be dipping into the middle shade out of the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Kit. And I'm going to be using that on my cheeks and on my forehead just to bronze up my face a little bit and bring back some life. I love these brushes. I just have no clue what the names of them are. It came in like a 28 brush set for $20 off of Amazon, but I will try and link them down below for you guys. Really high quality brushes and I would really recommend them. So yeah, just blending that bronzer all over my face to give it some color. Now I'm going to be using that same brush and going into the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush. I believe this is in the shade Rose Champagne. These blushes are amazing and extremely pigmented, and I think they're only like $2. So it's a really good deal. A little goes a long way, so don't dip into these blushes thinking that they won't give you any color, because they do. So yeah, just applying this onto my cheekbones and blending it out, not applying too much. Okay, I'm going to be taking a fan brush and dipping back into the Too Faced palette, and I'm going to be highlighting my face with Champagne Truffle. You guys, this is the most gorgeous highlighter I've ever used in my life. I seriously love this highlight so much. It is my favorite right now, and that says a lot because I have been ride or die for the Mary Luminizer highlighter, but this one has totally blown it out of the water, and I'm not kidding when I say this is probably one of the best highlighters I've ever used. If you have fair skin, you are going to die for this highlighter. It just gives your face the most beautiful glow, and you don't even have to use a lot. What I like to do is spray my brush with a little bit of the Mario Badescu facial spray, and that just really makes this highlighter stand out. So yes, I highly recommend this. Now I'm going to be using the Too Faced sketch marker in the shade Black and just creating a wingtip. This eyeliner is way better than a lot of the other felt tip ones that I've used because it does not dry out in the middle of doing your eyeliner. It stays with a lot of product, and the tip is very precise, so you can get a really sharp wing liner. So I'm just going to be using this to try to create, I just said create. I'm going to be using this to try to create the sharpest wing possible, and just lining my eyes to the inner corner. So now I'm just going to be using this little sample size of the Benefit Roller Lash and applying this to my lashes. This is my all-time favorite mascara. It just really curls your eyelashes and makes them super black, which I love. So just applying this before I add on some falsies to make it look a little more natural. And for falsies, I'm going to be using these LA Color lashes that I got from the drugstore. They're super cheap, only like $1.50, and they're actually pretty nice. So just applying those. Now I'm going to be taking the Morphe M560 brush. It's just like a pencil brush, and going back into the palette and grabbing that dark brown shade. I'm going to be applying this all over my lower lash line to kind of smoke it out and tie everything together. It really just looks nice, smoking out your lower lash. So that is what I'm going to be doing with Makeup and Chill. So now I'm just going to be grabbing that same Benefit Roller Lash Mascara and just applying one coat to my lower lashes to help them stand out a little bit and make the look a little bit more dramatic. And last but not least, I'm going to be taking a little bit of the Kylie Jenner Gloss in Literally to finish up the look. And that completes this makeup tutorial, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like if you did, comment what you guys want to see next, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.